good to go and video's working?
Good to go.
Okay.
Yep, I think we're all set.
Okay, great. First order of business is to approve the minutes from our December 15th meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved, Rhett.
Thank you, Rhett. Is there a second?
Second, Jay.
Thanks, Jay.
I'll second, Lisa.
Got it. Thank you from Jay. Any additions or corrections? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries and minutes are approved. Kevin Loki, I believe you have is Kevin on? Yeah, there he is. Local labor monitoring report for us for both the month of December and our 2020 annual.
Correct. So I will begin with the December 2020 report. So this report will cover our visits between the 1st and 31st of December 2020. During this period, we made 66 monthly site visits. We made 2 follow-up visits during that period. We checked residency with 418 workers. Of those, there were 5 non-compliant. All of those were no proof of residence. As of December 31st, 2020, all monitored sites were in compliance at the time of our inspection. We had 4 new COMIDA signs that were delivered. Magna Real Property Holdings, LLC, South Park Development, LLC, which is now RLP, LLC, by the way, for clarity. Apple Ladder 2, LLC, and Howitt Paul Road, LLC. Any questions on the December report?
Kevin, quick question. The 5 out of residents, when you went back, were all of those 5, were those just missing ID? And when you went back, the ID was appropriate?
I believe so. I can confirm that information right now. If you give me just one moment, I will look into that and give you the right answer here. I guess that's the good part of these Zoom meetings. Give me one sec.
I'll figure it out. Maybe that's Dallas, Texas. So that would be.
So let's see here. Sorry, just bear with me one second while I find the particular report. Okay, so the non-compliance was, I had 3 of them that were on one site, Appalachia. That was my initial inspection to that project. All of those were compliant and had their proof of identification the following day. So that was on one job, and the other 2, and I just want to pull up that report, was home leasing. And also, yeah, they had no ID, but both of them were compliant, the roofers, the following day. So all of those instances were followed up the next day. Everyone had their compliance. So they were all good. No one was off site or anything. Everyone had their stuff.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions for the December report before I move to the annual? Okay, so I will go to the annual report. I lost it. Hold on. All right, so for the annual report, it covers our visits obviously between January 1st, 2020 and December 31st of 2020. During the year of 2020, we made 736 site visits. There were a total of 29 follow-up visits during the year 2020. We checked 4,645 workers during 2020. Of those, we had a total of 72 non-compliant. As of December 31st, 2020, all monitored sites were in compliance at the time of inspection. During the year of 2020, we delivered 28 COMIDA signs. There was an average of 97% compliance on the initial site visit over all projects inspected. And all sites were 100% compliant within 24 hours of the initial visit.
Okay, any questions on that? Okay, thank you, Kevin.
You're very welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Okay, Brian LaFountain will give us an update on the local labor exemption report.
Hello, good afternoon. Today I have 3 exemptions, local labor exemptions to report on. The first one was an exemption for the Wren Square project. And this was an exemption related to the deep commercial geothermal well drilling at the project site on East Main Street. The exempted contractor was Fry Well Drilling, which is out of Alden, New York. During the processing of this exemption, we were able to identify and communicate with 3 local contractors who do this general type of commercial well drilling. However, once speaking with them and conveying the requirements of this specific project, it was determined that none of the 3 had the capabilities to actually perform this work. So therefore, that's when a recommendation for approval was communicated for this project. The second one was related to the Apex Rochester LLC project. This exemption was related to the application and installation of the gypcrete flooring product to the floors of the project site on John Street. This is the exempted contractor was Henderson Johnson out of Syracuse. This is for which these services, we don't have anyone locally who does this. This is a pretty familiar one. It should be at least familiar for most folks on the board. So again, Henderson Johnson out of Syracuse for the gypcrete. The third and final was related to RLP3 Grease LLC. This exemption was related to the installation and erection of the prefabricated wall panels at the project site on Lexington Avenue in Rochester. In this situation, the manufacturer of the prefabricated wall panels is a company by the name of Fabcon Companies LLC. Fabcon has their own labor force which installs these panels, prefabricated panels at the installation site. But we did approve the exemption for that team to actually do the installation, but Fabcon did agree to hire 2 local laborers from the local labor force to help with at the project site. So Fabcon was that exempted contractor.
Thank you, Brian. Are there any questions?
Brian, this is Troy. So originally that was for 10. Did they lower the number to 8 then, is what you're saying, or is it still 10?
It was my understanding that they kept the 10 from Fabcon there and they just added an additional 2 local folks.
Okay, any other questions? All right. Thank you very much, Brian. Next, we will have a review of the financial report from Greg. Greg is with us. Greg is with us.
Mm-hmm.
I can see him. Hi, Greg. Hello, Greg.
Greg, can you hear us?
We can't hear you.
He did chat to me earlier that he was having some technical difficulties. Let me see if I can get him here.
Can you
And
let
then
me
we
into the
put him,
meeting?
then we put him back in. I didn't put him in the waiting room.
He's there. He's there.
He just told me.
One moment while we try and communicate with Greg.
Okay.
Oh, he's right here.
Yeah,
I
he's
know,
on.
he's in
Just I
here.
think he might have some audio issues. So we're trying to type.
He said to me they have to let him into the meeting.
He's in.
He's in
Yeah.
the meeting.
You can see him.
You can see you.
Can you see him on your screen?
Yes.
Why don't you give them the phone number to call in, and maybe that would speed things up a little?
Sure. Do you want to just copy and paste it into a
Or
message?
move on and we'll do this again.
I think this is the day for bugs.
Truly.
He said he had to dial in and he needs Rachel to let him into the meeting again, whatever that means.
Okay.
He's in the waiting room, huh?
Hold on.
He's not in the waiting room. I'll send him a quick note with the dial-in number.
Let's text him. Wait. Where is he? He's not, I don't see him. Which is his 2878. Does that sound like him?
No.
He's dialing in though.
Oh, that could be. That could be a Bonadil.
Hold on, hold on. 2020880.
The 249 is a Bonadil number.
Oh, do that one.
He's on mute
This one?
now. He's on mute now, and it says he's connecting to audio.
Right now.
There
Can you
we
hear
go.
us, Greg?
Now he's
Can
muted.
you unmute yourself? Greg?
We can move on to project applications and ask Greg to provide us with a financial report after we get through the applications and modifications.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, let's move forward with the project applications. Then the first one is Facility 4, Inc. And Anna, you want to walk us through that?
Sure. Thank you, Ann. Facility 4 Incorporated, a real estate holding company, is constructing a new 40,000 square foot structural steel fabrication facility in the city of Rochester for its tenant, Raymar Steel Sales Incorporated, a related entity. This new facility will allow for a more streamlined approach to process and better serve its customers. Raymar Steel Sales will create 3 new FTEs. The $4 million project is seeking a real property tax abatement, mortgage recording tax, and sales tax exemption. And the cost benefit ratio is 5-to-1.
Okay, and do we have representatives? I don't see them. And Adam Randall and Adam Altamonda and Eric Jones joining us.
Eric Jones is here. I'm not sure where the gentlemen from Raymar Facility 4 are. I'm representing the contractor who's going to be doing this project.
Okay.
Eric, I don't know if you guys can hear me. This is Adam from Raymar Steel.
Oh, okay, great.
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm sorry, for some reason our camera isn't working, but I'm also joined with my brother Jason Randall and my father Tony Randall. So we're here. We can see all you guys and hear you, but I don't think you can see us. Sorry about
Oh,
that.
I can see you now. There's a group. We have
Yes.
a group view. All right. So Anna just reviewed your project. And is there anything that you'd like to elaborate on or tell us more
Well, basically,
about the project?
We're a third generation steel fabrication and erection company. And pretty much what you see here is Raymar Steel, my father and brother. It was started by my grandfather 50 years ago. And this project, this new facility, will allow us to fabricate on a much larger scale and produce more chance for occupations or jobs. And we've outgrown the current spaces for fabrication at this point. So this project is pretty important to us.
Okay, great. Anyone else, Eric or others, want to make any points?
Yeah, this is going to be a great project, obviously, in the city of Rochester there, and we're excited to be part of it. We're looking forward to getting started, subject to approval here.
Okay, great. Well, we appreciate your joining us today, and we appreciate your application. There was a public hearing held on January 15th. Rachel, any comments in that public meeting?
No, there were not.
All right, thank you. And I need to ask you some local labor questions. Are you aware of our local labor policy?
Yes, we are.
Do you anticipate any local labor exemptions at this time?
No, we do not.
And are you aware that any exemptions need to be requested 45 days in advance?
Yes.
Okay. The seeker process is complete. We'll now move forward with reading the resolution. Anna?
A regular meeting of the County of Monroe Industrial Development Agency was held at
Move to waive the reading of this resolution and subsequent resolutions.
Okay, we have a motion to waive the reading of the resolutions because we
I'll
have
second it, Joe.
in our packet. It's been moved by Jay and seconded by Joe. Any additional comments, questions on that? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I,
Opposed?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Thank you. So now I'll ask for a motion for inducement and final resolution approving a real property tax abatement, mortgage recording tax, and sales tax exemptions. May I have a motion, please?
So moved, Rhett.
Thank you, Rhett. Is there a second?
I'll second it, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa. Any additional comments on that? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations to the whole team for this project, and we wish you well for many more years. And
Thank you very much.
thanks for expanding in Monroe County.
Thank you.
Thank you. We
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
You're very welcome. Did Greg join us?
He is on the
Can you
phone.
hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry about that. I don't know if I've ever really had technical difficulties like that.
It's the day that we're on.
Well, I'm going to chalk it up to that because that was very frustrating.
All right, Greg, why don't you just jump right in there and give us the
Hey.
highlights?
Okay, year end, right? So through 12 months, our balance sheet, again, during everything still remains quite strong, even after COVID and after the support of the emergency loan program. You can see our cash, which is our most significant asset, is down 1.7 million from the prior year. But signs are pointing to positive numbers here in the short term. All the other balances with respect to accruals and payables are as expected. If you look at our summary of our revenue and expenses at the bottom there, the positive is we had a good last 4 months. We generated approximately 55% of our total revenue from September on. Although that's short of budget, we did make a good comeback. So again, signs of pointing to moving in the right direction here. In terms of I would say the expenses that we can control, payroll, sponsorships, general and administrative, the program and community development are things that we've committed to in the long term. So there's not much that we could do there, but we did, those 3 buckets, payroll, sponsorships, and G&A, was a little $1,073,000 compared to what we had budgeted of 1.5 million and last year of 1.35 million. So happy that the team and everyone pulled together to manage those expenses, the things that we could control with revenue being down. So happy that we can make a difference, somewhere. So again, overall, cash down being 1.7 million, and you can see where it really is generated from. Our expenses in excess of our revenue amounted to about 700,000, and then we supported the one-time emergency loan program for about $1 million. So that was where we come to the 1.7 million. Again, so certainly pointing to positive direction in the financials here in the 2021 year. We are in the process of starting our year-end audit, which we should have anticipated to be on schedule and completed by the end of February.
Thank you, Greg.
That's all I got.
Thank you, Greg. Any questions for Greg? I would just say that, other organizations have probably also made this statement that 2020 was probably not the worst year. It might be the worst year we've ever had, but I really have to applaud our team, particularly Anna and her staff and Rachel and our board members. I mean, we came in under budget on revenues, but my goodness, once we were able to really start getting some momentum again, we were back in the market, and very aggressively so. And we underspent a lot on our expenses to help cover being under budget on revenues. So, you know, congratulations to the whole team. You should be very proud of ending the year where we did. And thanks, Greg, too, for your guidance.
Thank you. I agree, Anna and the team, total team effort. It was, you know, one of the most challenging times, which I'm sure a lot of people have experienced, but Robin and Rachel and everyone, and Anna especially, we made a lot of changes this year. So signs to better things ahead.
We can take a little bow. All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Greg. Okay, we will go back to our agenda, and the next item is FCP Driving Park LLC. Anna, would you like to walk us through that?
Yep. Thank you. FCP Driving Park LLC, our real estate holding company, is constructing a new 40,000 square foot building for its tenant, Farmer John's Popcorn, in the city of Rochester. Farmer John's Popcorn is relocating from its current location on Ridgeway Avenue to this new location to increase the production of bagged popcorn. Farmer John's will create 45 new FTEs. The $6.8 million project is seeking a real property tax abatement, mortgage recording tax, and sales tax exemption. The tenant is requesting a sales tax exemption on furniture, fixtures, and equipment. The cost to benefit ratio is 29:1.
Thank you. And I believe we have David Merrick from FSI, Peter Cousin from Farmer John's Popcorn with us. Is that correct?
I'm here. Yes, this is Peter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is Betsy Brugg. I'm here as well from Woods Oviatt. How are you?
Good. Nice to
Hi.
see you again.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for joining us. So any and all of you, is there anything you'd like to elaborate on or tell us more about? I mean, this is one of those great local success stories that we're always excited about seeing. So,
yeah, I think this is a great app. I thought this was a really exciting application. Farmer John's, I think Pete is on. He can probably tell you a little bit about his exciting story. The developer, FCP Driving Park, and FSI are building a 40,000 square foot facility to accommodate the needs of Farmer John. They started as a small company. I think Pete told me he started with 4 employees 4 years ago. He's now got over 40 employees. He wants to hire an additional 40. He needs to expand his production. So the new facility is brownfield redevelopment. I believe it's in an opportunity zone. It's a great use of the property. It's a great way to, help this this really exciting business grow. And I think we've requested a Jobs Plus program, and we're happy to answer any questions you have.
okay, questions from the board or any other comments you'd like to make?
Yeah, honestly, I would like to say thank you for listening to us today. As Betsy mentioned, we started with 4 employees back in 2017. We just hired our 50th employee, 47 of which are City of Rochester residents. And we intend to continue that way. The other thing that's really important about our company is we're focusing on what we consider to be barrier to entry employees. So employees who maybe don't speak English or don't have a car or have a background that may prevent them from working at other jobs. We are trying to bring all of those employees and help us grow our company and help them get their lives going in the right direction. And we see this as an opportunity to continue that effort. And we really plan on continuing what we've already started a couple of years ago.
You should be very proud of your efforts, and particularly in hiring and placement of frontline workers and giving folks jobs that they might not otherwise have. And the story about there's 13 employees from one family.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Not worried about nepotism.
Well, the problem is if somebody gets married, I lose 13 employees for the day because they all go to the wedding. But
that's probably true.
Well, this job taught me one thing, owning this company is I owe my Spanish teacher from high school an apology because I told her I would never need to know how to speak Spanish. And now I walk around speaking into a translate app all day because my staff doesn't speak English.
Thank goodness for technology. Right?
You learn something every day.
Right.
That is correct.
Well, and you have arrangements with your own farming operation to supply the facility. So.
Yeah, we own and operate a farm in Iowa where we control our own corn supply from ground to table. So we feel very good about our future. We know that we have the capability and the infrastructure in place once we move to this new building. When we moved into the facility here on Ridgeway, I thought, we're good here for 10 years based on our growth pattern. And honestly, things just exploded with our exposure on QVC. They really give us free advertising, and where we are now, I thought it would take us 10 to 15 years to get to.
You're the product of the year on QVC.
3 times in a row. Thankfully, we've been blessed with 3 consecutive years. And I keep those trophies right here on my desk to remind myself how hard we have to work every day to satisfy our customer and keep our employees happy.
That's great. Okay, thank you very much. Any other comments from our presenters? If not, do we have questions from the board?
No, not a question, but I also want to applaud you for your hiring practices and providing opportunities to people who may be difficult for them to get their first shot.
I appreciate you recognize that. It's really important to us as a company. We feel that it's a win-win, and that's when the situation is best. We really try to do the best we can for the community in which we do business, and I'm proud of where we are, and I have no intentions on changing that.
And I owe my current position to nepotism, so I'm not going to downplay that.
No, that's important, I guess. All right. Any other comments, questions from the board? Okay, there was a public hearing held on this project January 15th. Rachel, were there any comments from that meeting?
No, there were not.
Thank you. I'm going to ask you some local labor questions. Are you aware of our local labor policy?
Yes, I am.
Do you anticipate any local labor exemptions at this time?
No, we do not.
And are you aware that any exemptions need to be requested 45 days in advance?
Yes.
Okay, the seeker process is complete. We have waived the reading of the resolution because we've all memorized it, read it. But I will now ask for a motion for inducement and final resolution approving a real property tax abatement, mortgage recording tax, and sales tax exemption. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Lisa. Is there a second?
Second, Jay.
Second by Jay. Any additional comments, questions? All those in favor say aye. Whoops, let me take a roll call. Let me just do a roll call. Jay?
Yes.
Tony is not, he's absent, I guess, today. Lisa?
Aye.
And Troy?
Yay.
And Joe?
Yes.
Rhett?
Yay.
And Ann is a yay. Motion carries. So congratulations. Good luck
Thank
to
you.
you for more of those trophies.
Thank you very much. We appreciate
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, next project is 300 Trade Court Holdings. Anna?
Thank you. 300 Trade Court Holdings LLC, a real estate holding company, is constructing a new 27,000 square foot facility in the town of Chili for its tenant, No Wave, a related entity. No Wave is relocating from its current facility on Buell Road to this new facility to increase production of certified hemp products. No Wave, a licensed New York State hemp processor, will create 7 new FTEs and retain its existing 28 FTEs. The $4.5 million project is seeking a real property tax abatement, mortgage reporting tax, and sales tax exemption The cost to benefit ratio is 20-1.
Okay, thank you. I believe we have Bob Anderson
Yes.
representing this project. Bob, are there other, it looks like Eric Jones is also with us. Any other comments you'd like to make about this project?
No, I think no way we're really excited to be building our own facility. It's going to help us grow and continue to add employees to it. We're in a striving market. It's crazy. We're kind of blowing up. So this will definitely help us achieve what we need it to.
And did Eric want to make any?
Yeah, again, just another great project. We're really pleased to be part of this and looking forward to, again, getting started and getting them into a new facility where they can expand and grow.
Great. Are there questions from the board on this? The ownership information is detailed on page 116, and additional information on the project is on page 117. I think everyone's probably reviewed all that. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, we'll keep going. So there was a public hearing held on this project on January 15th. Rachel, any comments?
No, there were none.
Okay, thank you. I'll ask you some local labor questions. Are you aware of our local labor policy?
Yes.
And do you anticipate any local labor exemptions at this time?
I don't believe so. Yeah, I don't believe so.
Okay. Are you aware that any exemptions need to be requested 45 days in advance?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. All right, the seeker process is complete. We are waiving the reading of the resolution. I'll ask for a motion for inducement and final resolution approving a real property tax abatement, mortgage recording tax, and sales tax exemptions. May I have a motion, please?
So moved, Jay.
Thank you, Jay. Is there a second? Seconded by Rhett. Any additional comments? All right, I'll take a roll call vote. Jay?
Yes.
Tony's absent. Lisa? I see Lisa.
Yay.
Okay.
I'm having problems with my connection. I'm sorry.
It's, when I used to live in Hawaii, we used to call it the Menahunis. We're out there.
Well, I don't know what's going on with this thing, but
today we've all had technical issues today. Okay, so Lisa was a yay. Troy?
Yay.
Thank you. Joe?
Yes.
Okay. Rhett?
Yay.
And Ann is a yay. So motion carries, and congratulations and continued success to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, next project is 441 East LLC. Anna?
Thank you. 441 East LLC, a real estate holding company, is renovating an existing building in the city of Rochester for its tenant, Lolly Insurance. This facility will house the administration, service teams, and sales force. Lolly Insurance will create 6 new FTEs and retain its existing 54 FTEs. The $3.6 million project is seeking a real property tax abatement, mortgage reporting tax, and sales tax exemption. The cost to benefit ratio is 17-1.
Okay, and do we have David Dworkin and Mark Peterson with it? I see Mark. I know Mark. So,
hi, everybody.
thank you for joining us. Is there anything that any additional comments you'd like to make, to elaborate on?
I'll just say Lolly is one of the top 50 insurance brokers in the country. We're headquartered out of Buffalo, but Rochester is our second largest branch. We actually employ 6 associates here right now, who service other branches in the Lawley footprint. We're in 11 different branches in 3 different states because of the quality of the talent that we can draw from Rochester. And I returned to Rochester after a 3-year stint in Chicago to head out Lawley Rochester's growth objectives. Our plan is to grow both organically and through acquisition in the coming 3 to 5 years. And conservatively, we'll add another 6 to 10 associates. If I do my job well, it'll be many more than that, given the talent we have here in Rochester.
Thank you. And as I said, I'm David Dworkin, and the only thing I'll add is we're pretty excited to hopefully get get Lawley as our tenant. We bought the building earlier this year before the sort of pandemic, if you will. And part of our improvements are not only significant improvements internally, and we are doing something which we think is pretty exciting. We're taking that front elevation, which is the one that fronts East Avenue. It's kind of a boring looking wall now, and we're putting pretty much floor to ceiling windows. So to kind of bring light, to create what we'd like to think is more of a street presence. We presented our plan to preservation last month, and we received unanimous approval from the preservation board for those enhancements. It's really going to make the building stand out. I think if most people, even on the preservation board, were surprised that they've driven by the building so many times, and it's very nondescript. It used to be a moose lodge a very long time ago, and doesn't really have any real character to the neighborhood. So our plan was to not only bring it back to what we think it was, but more importantly to make it a modern, upgraded, not only office building, but to complement the other buildings in the neighborhood. And as I said, they unanimously approved it, which was big for us. And certainly the pandemic, like I'm sure you hear from everyone, is changed everything, both our designs, how we're redeveloping it, and certainly the assistance at COMIDA is critical for us to be able to make this transaction with Lawley. Thank you.
We appreciate the fact that you're, one of the largest insurance brokers in the U.S. and I guess you're headquartered in Buffalo, but we're Rochester's the second largest branch of the 11 branches, I guess. So that's stretched across 3 states. So this will give you the chance to really springboard, get to the next level, and
That's right.
grow. And so
That's the plan.
very admirable. Any questions from the board on this project? Okay, hearing none, I will ask Rachel. We had a public hearing on January 15th. Any comments from the public?
No, there were not.
All right, thank you. I'll ask you our local labor questions. Are you aware of our local labor policy?
I am.
Okay, and do you anticipate any local labor exemptions at this time?
We do not.
And are you aware that any exemptions need to be requested 45 days in advance?
We were made aware of it, yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The seeker process is complete. We are waiving the reading of the resolution. I'll now ask for a motion for inducement and final resolution approving a real property tax abatement, mortgage recording tax, and sales tax exemptions. Is there a motion?
Royal motion.
Thank you, Troy. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Lisa. Any additional questions? All right. I'll go through the roll call vote. Jay?
Yes.
Tony's absent. Lisa?
Yay.
Troy?
Yay.
Joe?
Yay.
Brett?
Yay.
Thank you. And Ann is a yay. So motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Much more continued success to you.
Thank
Sounds
you.
like a great company.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. The next project is USRE Manitou LLC. Anna?
Thank you, Anne. USRE Manitou LLC, a real estate holding company, is constructing a new 2.6 million square foot warehouse distribution facility to be leased to Amazon.com Services LLC in the town of Gates. The town of Gates is supportive of the project. The $412 million project is seeking a custom real property tax abatement, mortgage reporting tax, and sales tax exemption. Amazon.com Services LLC will create 1,000 FTEs and invest approximately $100 million in material handling equipment and machinery. The cost to benefit ratio is 8-1.
Okay, and do we have Lang Allen and Brad Griggs with us today? I see Brad.
You have Luke Stevens on, who's representing USA.
Who is that?
This is Luke Stevens.
Oh, Luke Stevens. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any additional comments you'd like to make on this project? Luke,
None here.
Luke or Brad or?
Nothing from USA.
Okay. Any additional?
From the Amazon side, this is Brad Griggs. I'm a senior manager on our economic development team. I just want to thank yourself, the rest of the board, and the IDA for considerations related to the project. We're here alongside of USAA as well as our partners at Trammell Crow, who are leading the development side of the project, and we're here to answer any of your questions related to the proposed project.
Okay, questions from the board?
Brad, can you give me a sense as to what geographical footprint this facility will service?
Sure. So all of our Amazon robotic sortable facilities like the one proposed here in Gates are servicing our entire North American fulfillment network. So this project would be fulfilling customer orders throughout North America. I would say the predominant portion of those orders would be in the Northeast or Southeast part of the United States and North America. However, all of our facilities are able to handle customer orders, and it's really about efficiency of getting our products to our customers at the end of the day. And so all of these sites worked interconnectively to be able to assist and fulfill our customers' needs.
Thank you.
Brad, this is Troy Milne. So do you have a rough idea? We know FabCon came in on the first one. FabCon is mentioned on this second project. They're from out of state. Is there any other part of the project that we're going to be looking at hiring out of state companies, whether it's via warranty or it's just a relationship Amazon has on these larger buildings?
Sure, I would turn that question to our development partners at Trammell Crow. James and Andy are both on the call as they're responsible for the construction and development process.
Thanks, Brad. I would anticipate that there could be some additional waivers required for warranty issues. We have specialty equipment that will be installed here that will require it being installed by its manufacturer. I don't have a list of that in front of me here, but we are building a similar facility in Clay, New York, not too far from Rochester, and have had to request waivers there as well. So there's that situation. And then there's also the situation where we just can't get enough labor. It is a very large project. You can tell by the size of the cost of the project. And simply mobilizing that many folks from the 10-county region there could be challenging at times. So we've committed to working with COMIDA, opening those bids with them, sharing with them all of the subcontractor opportunities, and working with your bidder list as well to ensure that we maximize the local employment for the project.
So I am experiencing that there hasn't been an opportunity to all of the Rochester contractors to bid this work on the first site, and then we're just trying to get in front of it on this second site. So being that there's one in Clay, can you give us a rough idea of the percentage of the waivers that you've already had to entertain on that project?
I'll defer to Andy on that. Andy is managing that project with my colleague, George Leger, but I think it's in this, we've requested waivers there for somewhere around 30%. Is that right, Andy?
Yeah, that was correct. And those waivers were submitted prior to COVID, which has had an impact on us being able to reach that number. So until we actually get out to the market and are able to receive bids back from the 10 counties, I don't know if we can put a number on it at this time. But as James mentioned, the goal is to continue to maximize as much as we can.
So did I hear 30% on the clay project was approximate?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Other questions from the board on this? Could you tell us a little bit about the salaries that you expect for the local jobs that you're creating? I
Sure.
see the information you submitted, the average annual salary of 60, but starting at 31 and a high point of 100. So a lot of those are they entry level?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So we have our tier 1 associates who are hourly workers working full time across our entire fulfillment network and operations. We mandate at least $15 an hour for any employee working for Amazon, and then our full-time employees, which starts at about 35 hours a week, those employees receive a comprehensive benefits package, medical, dental, 401k, life insurance, the same that our corporate employees have, which adds an additional 20 to 30% value above the $15 starting point. In the Northeast, we typically see some of those entry-level positions will have higher than $15 an hour, but that's the starting point across all Amazon operations. The $60,000 a year is the starting point for our managerial positions, and area leadership, area management, operational management within the sites. Will all be, looking at average annual wages starting at that $60,000 a year point, with again the same comprehensive benefits starting on day one. There will be some seasonal and part-time employment. Those will all again also be making $15 an hour, but that's not a component of this application. What we're looking at is full-time employment in excess of 1,000 positions at the site. And that would include, the starting first year associate who's picking, packing, sorting the inventory, all the way up to, obviously site leadership that would be running the facility.
Do you have education requirements for those entry-level positions?
We work with the local workforce development groups on that. I mean, there are certain educational requirements in that we're reviewing as part of the hiring processes. I don't believe we have as far as college degree at that entry level. I think it's educational levels. Yeah, GED, exactly.
Well, the enhancing or expanding the labor force in that area is certainly critical. It's quite an injection of opportunities for many folks. So.
And we work closely, as I think James mentioned. We're working on opening our facility in Onondaga County. We work closely with the IDA there, with the county executive, with the local jurisdictions on workforce development, and getting plans in place to get those site launched. And I would expect if we can move this project forward here in Gates and in Monroe County, that we would be looking to do something very similar. Workforce development and being able to not only identify the entry-level workforce, but provide a path towards promotion and advancement opportunities within our facilities is really key.
Great. All right. Other questions from the board on this?
Brad, this is Troy. Let me circle back again. So you said the wages and the benefits were 20% of those wages. Is that correct?
Above the $15 an hour plus approximately 20 to 30% additional value from the comprehensive benefits package.
So a $15 an hour person's going to make $3 to $4 in benefits for healthcare that included dental, optical.
Yep. Medical, dental, vision, 401k, life insurance. It's a comprehensive benefits package that starts day one for our full-time employees.
Thank you.
Other questions from the board? All right. I will ask Rachel. There was a public hearing held on January 15th. Were there any public comments at that meeting?
We received 2 comments from residents of the town of Gates. Both were raising planning and zoning issues that are not within the purview of this board. Neither had any comment regarding the benefit package.
Okay. All right. I will now ask some local labor questions. Are you aware of our local labor policy?
We are.
Okay, thank you. And do you anticipate any local labor exemptions at this time?
Not at this time.
And are you aware that any exemptions need to be requested 45 days in advance?
We are.
Okay. The seeker process is complete. We will waive the reading of the resolution. And so now I'll ask for a motion for inducement and final resolution approving a custom real property tax abatement, mortgage recording tax, and sales tax exemptions. May I have a motion, please?
I'll motion, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Is there a second?
Second, Brett.
Thank you, Rhett. Any additional comments, questions?
I do have a concern that we said we don't expect any local labor being waived when we already know FabCon was going to be the first entity that we discussed.
I think our question was, are they aware at this time they don't
Do you
have?
anticipate any local labor waivers at this time? And it was no.
We haven't priced any subcontractors yet, so I just don't have that fact in front of me. But as I mentioned, there's likely to be some. I just don't know of any just right now.
And they know that they need to request any of those exemptions 45 days in advance.
Correct.
So, any other comments, questions? All right, I'll take a roll call vote. Jay?
Yes.
Tony is absent. Lisa?
Yay.
Troy?
Nay.
Joe?
Yay.
Rhett?
Yay.
And Ann is a yay, so motion carries. Congratulations. Thank you for coming to Monroe County. This is a very exciting project for us.
Thank you. We're excited to be here. Excited to be
Thank
part
you
of the
very much.
community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Welcome. Bye-bye. Okay, now we will move forward with project modifications. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. And the first one is 291 South Plymouth. Anna?
Thank you. 291 South Plymouth LLC, a developer of residential properties, is constructing 3 townhomes in the city of Rochester in the Cornhill neighborhood. The project was approved by the board in March of 2020 for mortgage recording tax exemption, sales tax exemption, as well as a property tax abatement. The applicant is seeking an extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31st, 2021, as the project has delayed construction due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Okay, I'll ask for a motion. We're waiving the reading of the resolution. I'll ask for a motion to approve the extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31st, 2021. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Lisa made the motion. Was that Rhett?
Yes.
Rhett second? Okay. Any comments, questions? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Modification number 2, Vigneri Chocolate Inc. Anna.
Vigneri Chocolate Incorporated, a second-generation confectionery manufacturer, has purchased a building in the city of Rochester and is renovating to expand production and distribution. The project was approved by the board in July of 2019 for mortgage recording tax exemption, sales tax exemption, as well as a property tax abatement. The applicant is seeking an extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31st, 2021, as the project has delayed construction due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Okay. All right, we're waiving the reading of the resolution. I'll ask for a motion to approve an extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31, 2021.
So moved, Jay.
Moved by Jay, seconded by,
Joe, I'll second it.
thank you, Joe. Any additional comments, changes, questions? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. Next project, Indus South Union Street LLC.
Indus South Union Street LLC, a real estate holding company affiliated with Indus Hospitality Group, is constructing a Hampton Inn & Suites hotel adjacent to the Strong National Museum of Play in the city of Rochester. The project was approved by the board in March of 2020 for mortgage recording tax exemption, sales tax exemption, as well as a property tax abatement. The applicant previously received approval for an extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31st, 2021, as the project has delayed construction due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The applicant is now seeking an extension through June 30th, 2024 to allow for flexibility per its agreement with the city of Rochester.
Any questions from the board on that? Okay, we are waiving the reading of the resolution. I'll ask for a motion to approve an extension of the sales tax exemption through June 30, 2024.
So moved.
Moved by Jay,
Seconded.
seconded by Lisa. Any additional questions? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, last one. PGH Kirsten LLC. Anna?
Thank you. PGH Kirstein LLC has purchased and renovated the Kirstein building in the city of Rochester. The project was approved by the board in December of 2016 for mortgage recording tax exemption, sales tax exemption, as well as a custom property tax abatement. The applicant is seeking approval for a new tenant, Wacky Waffles LLC, a takeout restaurant, as an existing tenant has recently vacated the building.
Have we sampled the waffles? No, not yet. Okay. Any questions? All right, we're waiving the reading of the resolution. I'm asking for a motion to approve subleasing of a portion of the project to a new tenant, Wacky Waffles.
So moved.
I wonder what makes them wacky. Thank you, Rhett. Is there a second by Jay? All right. Any other questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right. Thank you. Been moving right through this agenda today. Next item is comments from our executive director, Anna, for our discussion.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you all for your time today, as always. I'll start out by saying, go Bills. Got my Bills mask here with me today. My only discussion item for this month's agenda is, you're all aware that COMIDA owns some land out in the town of Riga off of the highway, and it's been on our books for some years after we acquired it from Monroe County. And as of right now, you may also recall that we sold portions of that property to Scott's Miracle Grow, which currently occupies much of the space, but there are 3 parcels that are not currently occupied. And right now, the signage on the property advertising its for sale status directs any interested buyers to Monroe County's real property, the director of Monroe County Real Property, Tim Murphy. We think that it would be more prudent to work with a brokerage firm to market the site and ultimately sell the site so that we can take it off of our books. So recently, working with the team here, we put together a request for proposals with the listed due date January 29th. And we disseminated this RFP to all of the area brokerage and real estate firms. We received 2 inquiries thus far from Pyramid Brokerage and also from Lefroy's. And we anticipate a few more to come through. And hopefully this will aid in our successful sale of those 3 parcels, because COMIDA, shouldn't be in the real estate selling game. So with that, I'll take any questions from the board.
So what's the acreage on them that we've got in the RFP?
So lot 1 is 18.9 or thereabouts. Lot 2, 26.4 acres. Lot 3 is 6.7 acres. So there you're looking at like close to 60 acres. And it's technically in Bergen, New York. So I misspeak when I say town of Riga, although it does say.
It's in the town
Oh,
of
it's
Riga, but the Byron School District.
town of Riga, but Byron Bergen Central School District. Thank you, Rachel.
And what do we expect? What would be the sales price?
The fair market value on the 3 parcels is listed in a appraisal document that I had shared with you, and I can share it with the whole board. It's somewhere in the realm of about $800,000. But I will disseminate that with the board after today's call, just so that you have the correct information. And Rachel can speak to this, but we are not permitted to negotiate. We have to sell the properties at fair market value because of our status as a public benefit corporation.
But we would make the decision on that sale? It would come to the board for approval?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll follow our disposition of real property policy. There are some exceptions to selling it at fair market value, and but for the most part, I would expect it would be sold at fair market value.
And it's near a landfill, as I recall. Yeah, I
It's
remember.
near
the day
what
that
was a
we-
landfill that
I
had.
remember the day we voted to acquire it, and or maybe it was before, and we all had a tour out there.
Yes. And more recently, Lydia has been out there. There were a couple of entities that were interested in making the purchase. One of them wanted to go stop by the site, and Lydia was there, and she was a little concerned as to the upkeep of the property. So it'll be good to work with an outside entity that can help, make it market ready, get it out there and off, like I said, off of our books.
Anna, could you repeat the size of the parcels again, please?
Yeah, certainly. So lot 1 is 75 Brew Road. It's 18.89 acres. Lot 2 is 141 Brew Road. It's 26.43 acres. And lot 3 is at 30 Brew Road. It's 6.7 acres.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It is the only large real estate project that we've owned, at least during my tenure, except for our project.
Anna, I think it's a good idea to get a broker involved. That's a smart move. And I'm surprised that the landfill hasn't bought it. Usually, landfills are notorious for buying every piece of land around them. So I'm just surprised they haven't bought it.
Thank you, Joe. The adjacent landfill, and please, anyone correct me if I'm wrong, is no longer being utilized as a landfill, right? It's been topped off.
Oh, so it's closed. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Which explains that used to be a county landfill.
right. It
So,
was, yes.
Yeah, and which explains why the county owns the property, because that's what you do. So that makes
Right.
sense.
And the
Yeah, that
county
makes sense.
itself wanted to get the property off of their books, which is why they initiated a purchase on behalf of COMIDA. They asked COMIDA to purchase the land off of the county itself.
Yeah.
And now we're looking to get it out, viable commercial use and development.
And we've sold 1 or 2 parcels already, right?
That's right, to Scott's Miracle Grow. They produce fertilizer and other products, so it's okay for them to be out there at a site that previously was adjacent to a landfill. There were no concerns there about any environmental issues or odors.
Okay, any questions from the board on that? Thanks, Sid, for the update.
I have one question. So when we market this, the price is going to be determined by whom?
The appraisal, I'm going to disseminate the property appraisal. We recently commissioned an updated appraisal. The one that we had previously was outdated, and the would-be purchaser would have to purchase the parcels for those appraised values. We aren't going to negotiate a purchase price.
That's actually where my question, comes in, is appraisals are an estimate of fair market value. If we get, an offer that's, or we get a couple of offers that are both below, what I'm hearing from you is we can't take those. Can you walk a little through that? Because if we get, I understand if we get one offer, that's tough to determine whether that's the market value. But if we get a couple offers below the appraisal, those might be indication that the appraisals are above the fair market value. Are we able to consider those offers?
Rachel can speak to this, but there's some flexibility.
So we do have a real property disposition policy that mirrors the public authorities law requirements. We have to comply with that as a public authority. If we receive appraisal or offers that are under our appraisal, we just need to support our sale. And so if our broker can point us to comps that support the sale at the offer price or what we accept, we do have some flexibility. It's not what's in the appraisal is what we are tied to. We do have some ability to work with that. And I'll ensure, of course, that we comply with the real property disposition policy when we get there.
Thank you for that clarification.
Sure.
I just think going into this, we need to keep in mind, there's fair market value for property in Riga, and then there's fair market value for property that's adjacent to a landfill.
Right.
So we just got to make sure that we don't price this incorrectly, and we end up, the county ends up sitting on this for much longer than they need to. Because I can tell you firsthand that those values are much, much less than they would be if it wasn't adjacent to a landfill.
Right. The firm that we worked with to appraise the parcels took that into consideration, and they, for lot 1, appraised that parcel at $280,000. Lot 2, the largest lot, is appraised for $430,000, and then lot number 3, the smallest parcel, is appraised at $155,000. So, like I said earlier, it's about around $800,000 as it's as appraised. And this document is 50 pages long. There's a lot of considerations were made on the part of the appraiser. The firm we worked with is Midland Appraisal Associates Incorporated. So like I said, I'll share that with this board, and you can let me know what questions or concerns you might have. The inquiries that we've gotten on the site so far since I've been here have been from one car dealer and another bicycle repair facility that were interested in the location because of the signage on the highway there.
What value do we carry on our books today for this property?
That's a really good question. Is Greg still with us? I'm guessing he's not.
I think he is, actually.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Mhm.
I am. I want to think it's 625, but double check it here.
While he runs those numbers down, I'll just tell you the assessed values on the books here in Monroe County are for lot 1, it's assessed at 129.5, lot 2, 167.2, and then lot 3, 68.5. So the appraised values are quite a bit higher than the assessed values, which isn't unusual.
Yeah, the cost is $625,000. Currently on the books of COMIDA.
So we'll have a gain there if we come in at 800 something.
And the benefit of working with a brokerage firm is that they would put marketing materials together, ensure that the properties are accurately represented on, LoopNet and other platforms. And we're working with Greater Rochester Enterprise as well to make sure that their community of developers is familiar with the available land.
Okay. Any other questions on that? Okay. Any other items to discuss, Anna?
No, that's all that I have for today, other than just I wanted to convey gratitude to this board, volunteer board, and the excellent hardworking staff here at COMIDA for working through a very challenging 2020 and coming into 2021 with enthusiasm and energy. And we've got some big projects coming down the pike here. So I appreciate all of your time and efforts very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. We appreciate you and the team.
Thank you.
And you did have a good year. So
we tried.
Good, even better one. So I don't have any other discussion items. Anyone else? Any board members? Anyone want to raise any other items?
I just want to say great job, Anna. Great job, Rachel. We appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Our pleasure. Thanks, Joe.
Okay, so I'll adjourn the meeting and say that the next meeting is scheduled for February